Is Rumpelstiltskin about to have his heart broken? Here's hoping. Love Island UK episode 19, and Mimi wasn't happy with Ayo for choosing Uma in the task when he was asked who he had the most sexual tension with other than his partner. It didn't make any sense to me why she was annoyed, because like he said, they knew that he was paired up with her before and that he liked her before, so it didn't make any sense for him to just be a shite bag and just pick one of your friends or somebody that he'd known from the start. And if I was Mimi and he did choose one of my friends, like say he chose Jess or something, I would be like, oh, does he actually secretly like her? Whereas he was honest and he chose Uma, and it just made much more sense to me. Matilda was chatting with Uma, and Sean decided to come up and ask her if she wanted to go for a chat in the hideaway. And Jess was like, oh my god, that is balls on balls, oh my god, like as if it was like the biggest fucking deal ever, right? Apparently she'd been speaking to Omar for ages and he just wanted to talk to her. Okay, took her into the hideaway. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't like balls on balls. I was like, Jess, calm the fuck down, right? I like Jess, but she was just taking it too far. And she's going, oh, he's being too forward, guys, he's being too pushy. And I was like, well, it's not your concern, hen, because he's not trying to get into you, so shut the fuck up. Sean was giving her the chat and she was absolutely loving it. She was saying, oh, I really like him and I like his confidence, I like the fact that he's marking his territory and all that. Meanwhile, Umar wasn't happy about it because he was saying, oh, that I was sitting having a chat with her and you kind of stole her away from me. And I get where he's coming from, right? It doesn't show you on Love Island, but apparently ex-contestants have came out and said, we always have chats in the garden and at certain times because the rest of the day we're split up. That's why you never really see them just sitting in the villa and talking about stuff, because they're separated for most of the day. So they have to take these opportunities to chat while they can. Mr. Love expert Joey Essex decided to give Sean some advice, and he was saying, look, you're in here for yourself, don't listen to Umar. If you want to talk to her, just talk to her. And then when she walked away from Umar, Joey shouted her over, right? Now, okay, fair enough, that's the sort of thing that I would do. But this week, Joey is just doing man nothing, because I've seen so many videos on TikTok saying that when him and Grace were together in the past, they were like really a couple and they were going to move in together and everything. And then the reason why he wasn't really kissing Sam is because the two of them were really together and they weren't actually split up. And this has just totally put me off him, right? Like, I don't even think he should have been in there to begin with. And then, I know that he's not that old, right? But like the other girls in that in there are like 26, 27, and people are going, oh, they're so mature when they're that age, and he's 33. Like, he's way older than the rest of them. It doesn't even fit into the demographic. In the previous episode, Ronnie told Harriet that he wasn't really interested in pursuing things with her anymore and that he wanted to continue with Tiffany. So in this episode, she was totally pissed off and she's sitting talking about him with the girls and she's like, oh, he's an actor, right? So obviously, if you hear somebody talking about you the way Ronnie did, you're going to come up and say, what's your problem, right? So he walked up and he's like, who's an actor? And she's like, oh, none of your business. And then when he said, oh, were you talking about me? She says, no. And I was like, that was a total shite bag move. Like, if that had been me, I'd have says, I am fucking talking about you. Who else is fucking acting in here, you dick? Do you know what I mean? But she decided to sit there and blatantly try and act smart in front of the girls and be like, oh, he's an actor. And then when he comes over, she shits her pants. If I was one of the other girls, I'd have been like, we're fucking talking about you, dickhead. Keep in mind, I absolutely detest Ronnie, but he had every right to go over to her and say who's an actor and try and stick up for himself, but then she ended up shitting herself and saying that she wasn't talking about him. Like, what's the fuck is the point in sitting trying to act smart in front of your pals, and then when you get the opportunity to say something, you don't? She's an absolute fucking hook. Later, she was speaking to Jess in the hall, and she was like, oh, he's been out of order, like, as if he had done something wrong. He didn't do anything wrong. If you heard somebody sitting talking about you and saying that you were an actor, you'd go mental. Do you know what I mean? What did she want him to do? Just ignore her? And just sit there like a good little boy and be like, oh, she's talking about me? Fuck her. So the other day, Ronnie and Tiffany were sitting talking, and it was so bizarre. Like, the conversation wasn't really going anywhere. And then she was making these random strange noises, and I thought, is that like some sort of tic she's got? Do you know what I mean? Like, have you ever sat and spoke to a child who watches a lot of TikTok and they come out with all these mad noises, or they just start randomly dancing for no reason because they keep on seeing it? Like, a couple of weeks ago I was in town and there was a drunk girl walking around on her own, right, and she's walking around doing all these TikTok sounds, and she's like, am I the drama? I'm not the drama, right, like, just like all these TikTok sounds, just talking to herself. And I thought, is this what's happening to Tiffany? Is she doing some sort of like TikTok noise that I've not seen? It was so weird. Tiffany was talking to Jess at the end of the show, and she was saying, you know, I don't really know if I'm really into Ronnie. I don't know if it's like just friends or if there's like a spark there or whatever. And Jess was saying, well, you're not in here for friends, like you need to pair up with somebody who you really like, right? And I thought, I've got two feelings about this, right? One being, haha, Ronnie, you fucking dick, that's what you get. You're going to get your heart broken because all of a sudden you're a transformed man in the space of a couple of days and you don't want to kiss end of your tasks and you found the one, right, all of a sudden. But then at the same time, I'm kind of thinking, if Tiffany goes to him and says to him, I'm not really sure about if I've got feelings for you or whatever, he's now going to use this as a weapon in future with other women, and he's going to be like, oh, that's why I don't go all in, because this always happens. Or you go in with somebody and then they tell you that they don't like you or whatever, and it's just going to be like a fucking narcissistic weapon that he uses from now on. Oh, honestly, like, I can't fucking stand him. Let me know in the comments, do you think that him and Tiffany make a good couple? I actually think that him and Harriet are better suited because the two of them are fucking skis bag cunts.